Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite NHL DFS plays for this Tuesday, November 14th slate. We got ourselves 9 games here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and then we'll wrap up the video with 3 low-priced options or sub 4K forward plays. With that being said, let's dive right into this. And let's kick things off here with the 9 games that we have here tonight. Going to show you the money lines and over-unders in these games. First one we got is the Golden Knights taking on the Washington Capitals. We got Bruins at Sabres, Penguins at Blue Jackets, and the Calgary Flames taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Next set of games here, we got the Coyotes at Stars, Lightning at Blues, Devils at Jets, Ducks at Predators, and then wrapping it up there with the Florida Panthers taking on the San Jose Sharks. And then here's a quick schedule update for this week. We got an NHL DFS video coming out today, tomorrow, and Thursday. I got my NFL DFS first look coming out tomorrow as well. And as always, my cash plays video Friday and my tournament plays on Saturday. With all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like for this 9-game slate tonight. Starting with that first line for the Winnipeg Jets, we got Mark Scheifele centering Kyle Connor and Alex Iafallo. A little more expensive line here, but still very affordable all things considered. A matchup at home here against the New Jersey Devils, who have kind of surprisingly struggled in their own end this year. Goaltending has not helped them either. They've allowed 3.69 goals per game this season. That's the 4th most in the NHL, and they're still missing their top 2 centers in Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes, so I like the matchup here for Winnipeg in general. This first line for them has been on fire over their last 5 games, having combined for 8 goals, 19 assists, 27 points, and it's a strong correlated line stack as well, with all 3 of these guys playing up on the Jets' #1 power play, which is scored at a 28% here in their last 5 games. And then a cheaper line stack that I like here tonight is that third line for the Dallas Stars. You got Matt Duchene centering Mason Marchment and Tyler Seguin. Very affordable line stack here, and you get some strong correlation with these 3 as well, all playing on the Stars' #2 power play. Solid matchup at home here tonight against the Arizona Coyotes. Now, Seguin and Marchment have been fine this year. Considering their price, they do offer some nice upside, but it's really Matt Duchene who's playing really good hockey right now. In his last 9 games, he's combined for 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. So he's by far and away playing the best on this line right now. You could play him as an individual play, but again, considering the correlation and how affordable this line stack is, I do like them in tournaments as well. Now folks, before we dive into some of these individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. You guys have been awesome so far this year. Every like, comment, and sub has truly helped me out. Trying to get Slydog Sports here to 4,000 subs. Help us out and sub today if you haven't already. And for you golf fans, we just released a new entertainment channel on the golf side of things here at Slydog Sports. That's called Mulligan Masters. If you want to subscribe to that, all you need to do here is go to my Slydog Sports page, go over to the channels off to the right hand side, and you can sub below. Alright, now diving into these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off at the forward position. First guy that I got is Jake Guentzel of the Pittsburgh Penguins, priced at $7,500 tonight, in a good matchup on the road against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Just so everyone is aware, I will absolutely be stacking up that first line for the Penguins tonight of Crosby, Guentzel, and Rust. Honestly, don't mind their second line either if you want to go with Evgeny Malkin, Ricard Raquel, and Riley Smith, but that first line for Pittsburgh has played well all year long. Guentzel's been no exception to that. 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points in his first 13 games, and he's also second across the entire NHL in expected goals at 8.5, so believe it or not, he's probably got some positive regression coming his way in the goal department. And again, just a good matchup overall for the Penguins here tonight on the road against the Blue Jackets, who've allowed 3.47 goals per game this year, the 9th most in the NHL. The next guy I got on my list here then is Brad Marchand of the Boston Bruins, priced at $6,500 tonight on the road against the Buffalo Sabres. I honestly thought this price was a little too cheap. I think he should be in the 7K range based off of how he's playing. He's got points in 11 of 14 games so far this year, totaling 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points. He actually leads this Bruins team in expected goals as well at 7.5. That kind of caught me by surprise. I just would have assumed it was Pastrnak. He's also second on this team in shot attempts and shots on goal, playing up on their first line and #1 power play. I then got Carter Verhaeghe here of the Florida Panthers, priced at $5,600 in a great matchup on the road against the San Jose Sharks. Now, Verhaeghe was a bit up and down throughout his first 9 games, but has really started to find his groove here as of late, having combined for 3 goals and 3 assists, 6 points in his last 5 games. Certainly helps that Sam Bennett is back centering that second line between Verhaeghe and Tkachuk. Honestly, we could stack up either one of those top 2 lines for Florida tonight or target their number 1 power play. Again, a great spot here versus the Sharks, who've allowed 4.40 goals per game this year, the most in the NHL, and you're going to see Verhaeghe play on that second line, as I just mentioned, and up on the Panthers' number 1 power play. I then got Robert Thomas here of the St. Louis Blues, priced at $5,200 tonight in a matchup at home against the Tampa Bay Lightning. He has quietly been very good this year, 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points through 13 games, and I do like this matchup here against the Lightning, who continue to struggle in their own zone, allowing 3.60 goals per game this year, the 5th most in the NHL, and we're going to see Thomas play up on their first line, number 1 power play, and he leads this Blues team in expected goals as well. Now, dipping into the 4K range of forwards here, I actually really like James Van Riemsdyk of the Boston Bruins, playing on their second line and number 1 power play right now, but being that I already highlighted Marchand, I wanted to give you another option here in the 4K range. That's going to be Tommy Novak of the Nashville Predators, priced at $4,300 in a matchup at home against the Anaheim Ducks. Now, he's been solid in general this year, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points in 14 games, while playing on their second line and number 1 power play, averaging around 16, 17, 18 minutes a game. But where he's really thrived is up on that Preds number 1 power play, where he's got half of his production, scoring 4 goals and 2 assists. Alright, now moving over here to the defensemen. First guy that I got and would be willing to spend up for here tonight is Erik Karlsson of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Honestly, thought he was a little too cheap here at $6,000, so I will take advantage of that. Again, on the road here against the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's really started to find his groove here in Pittsburgh. 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points in his last 5 games. 4 of those points coming on the power play. And that Pens power play is scored at a 27.5% rate during their 4-game win streak, so I certainly don't mind targeting that. And this Blue Jackets team averages around 3.5 minor penalties per game, so we should get some solid opportunity with that Pens number 1 power play in general tonight. The next guy I got on my list here then is Oliver Ekman-Larsson of the Florida Panthers, priced at $4,900, again in a great matchup here against the San Jose Sharks. He's an offensive defenseman here, and he's been playing really well as of late with 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in his last 5 games, averaging around 22 minutes per game, and playing up on that Panthers number 1 power play, which I have no issue stacking up here tonight, as the Sharks average 4.1 minor penalties per game, and have the 4th worst penalty kill in the NHL, hitting at just a 71.5% rate. Now, dipping into the lower 4K range here, I'm going to highlight Mikhail Sergachev at $4,400 on the road here against the St. Louis Blues. It's a guy who just logs big minutes in general, should play around 23 minutes here tonight in all situations for the Lightning, playing on their number 2 power play and big minutes on the penalty kill. He's got 8 assists through 15 games, essentially a half point per game type of player, while averaging 2 block shots per game as well. But I do think there's some nice value in the low 4K range in general. You could go with Hughes, Krug, Forsling, or if you're really looking to save some money, you could go with Johansson of the Capitals. And then speaking of the Washington Capitals, I got another value play here in the 3K range. That's going to be Rasmus Sandin, priced at $3,400. A tough matchup at home tonight against Vegas, but another guy who's just logging big minutes in general for this team right now, 23 plus minutes per game, playing on their number 2 power play and playing on the penalty kill. He's got 3 assists in 21 block shots in his last 6 games, hitting 11 plus DraftKings points in 5 of those 6 games. Not bad at all for a guy priced here in the mid 3K range. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you guys, and honestly quite like the goalie position here tonight. Don't mind Ottinger, don't mind Ullmark, could even roll with Hellebuck if you wanted to, but I'm going to highlight Tristan Jarry here, the Pittsburgh Penguins, priced at $8,300, again playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jarry has looked very sharp during the Penguins' 4-game win streak, as he's allowed just 2 goals in his last 3 starts. Now he is 5-5-0 on the season, but his numbers outside of that do look solid. Save percentage of .920, goals allowed average of 2.23, averaging around 13.5 DraftKings points per game, and you do get the Penguins favored on the road here tonight at -180. And then if I'm looking for a more contrarian, high-risk, high-reward tournament goaltender tonight, it's going to be Sam Montembeault of the Montreal Canadiens. If it happens to be Jake Allen who starts, 100% okay with him as well, but I believe it will be Montembeault based off of how they've been going back and forth. He's priced at $7,400 tonight in a matchup at home against the Calgary Flames. Now, Montreal is likely going to give us this boom boom-bust opportunity with their goalies all year long, but I do particularly like this spot at home versus Calgary, who's averaged 2.64 goals per game this year, the 6th fewest in the NHL, but rank 11th in shots on goal per game with 32.2, and Monty's been solid. I do prefer Allen for what it's worth, but if it's Monty, again, 100% okay with that. He's 3-2-1 on the season with a save percentage of .905 and a goals allowed average of 2.89. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. Usually I can find some nice gems here in this area, but wasn't necessarily loving the 3K plays here for today. With that being said, I still got some options for you. First being JJ Peterka of the Buffalo Sabres. He's been solid this year. 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points in 15 games. I just don't necessarily love the matchup here against the Boston Bruins, but overall he is offering some value based off of how he's been able to get on the score sheet this year. The next guy I got is Brendan Gallagher of the Montreal Canadiens, someone who plays on their third line and up on their number 2 power play. Priced at $3,500 for a guy who's racked up 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points in 15 games, essentially a half point per game type of player. And then I got Connor Zary there of the Calgary Flames, currently playing on their second line and up on their number 1 power play. And the 22-year-old rookie has actually been very good in his first 5 games, having racked up 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points, averaging close to 10 Draftkings points per game. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 9-game slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.